Hi, welcome to the Technical Difficulties Podcast. I think we're live. My thing hasn't changed.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
We got a bit of a delay on it. Welcome back. I was not here on Wednesday. You didn't have a glitch happen where I was sitting in the chair with no sound and then left. This is the podcast coming back. I have returned and I'm joined by Jacob.
Hello.
You all know him from when we used to do this podcast.
I'm one of the original guest stars.
Oh, not even close.
I like to call myself
No,
that.
you just stayed around for longer.
I always do.
As we're saying, we're back. We're getting ready to do our streams again. Wednesdays and Fridays. A little bit different this time. Blake's not having to run 2 games. He's actually going to be playing in one. It's going to be kind of cool. We're all looking forward to that. I think we're having some more difficulties. He's clicking something on the computer. No, you reckon we're fine. But I'm very excited. I will be running my first proper full campaign. It'll be the first one to go live on stream next Friday the 8th. And you're a player in it.
Yeah, I am. I don't move from Friday.
No.
I am the same.
Anyone that used to watch us when before we stopped streaming will recognize Jacob back on Friday and nobody else being the same. We've had a pretty big shuffle up of the groups. We will be joined on Friday by Blake, Robert, Arthur, and Josh. So different all around. And obviously everyone that deserted Friday group's gone to Wednesday group to be with Jordan on that other one that you would have watched.
I've been abandoned
on Wednesday. Yes. No, it's going to be good fun. I'm looking forward to it. We've got some differences in the way that we run the game between myself and Blake. Hopefully it's not going to be too jarring if you're wanting to watch both sessions. And yeah, come and tell me I'm shit in the comments. I'll probably be watching the chat going just to see if people are gonna man up and tell me. So you're here with me.
Yes, I am.
You wanna talk about anything in specific on this podcast? This first one back?
No. Because I'm fresh out of ideas.
You haven't said anything. How are you out of ideas?
Exactly.
My friend over here is tired and doesn't know how to push through the pain of being an adult, clearly.
I'm trying.
Fun stuff coming. So as far as I'm willing to go on stream, the session that I'm going to be running is going to be post-apocalyptic world. They're going to be exploring the ruins of everything that came before. It's going to be high adventure, high danger, when you make your way out further and further from your starting location. A lot of decisions to be made on whether or not we should be doing this, and hopefully a lot of tactics. That's my main hope for this campaign, is that there's going to be a lot of planning going on from your the player's end?
Well, I know at least half of us will. The other half, I'm not so sure.
That's up to you to keep them in line then.
Well, fingers crossed.
Right. Hopefully we're not going to start session 1 off with player deaths, but if some of the players play in the way that I get the feeling they are going to, it's never not a possibility, but maybe a little bit more so. Rob, I'm looking at you if you end up watching this. Yeah.
The possibilities are never zero to have a TPK the first session.
Oh, it won't be a TPK. I might just kill Rob because he might just do something really stupid. That's what he tends to do, right? He runs into things.
He does it stupid, but it is funny. For us.
It is funny. It's not so funny when he gets everyone in danger.
Well, it depends on your perspective.
Is it fun when he gets you in danger?
We'll have to see, because this is my first time playing it. I'm going to eat these words later.
We've been doing plenty of test sessions, and in at least one of them, Jacob here decided rather than doing the test session, he wanted to run away. Don't know why, not even canon.
In my defense, I thought I'd drown because I was wearing full plate armor. But no.
You might have.
I might have.
There was only one way to find out though, and you didn't decide to fuck around.
Well, that is very true. I didn't want to find out.
Yeah.
But I did learn. And the next few sessions...
No, you didn't. You didn't do anything.
Well,
you didn't learn anything to do with it.
The next session, I did learn from my mistake.
Oh, I think I'm missing a whole lot of chats from here, because that seems like it's halfway through a conversation.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, no, I just saw chat moving, and that is definitely not what I was expecting.
Oh, you want to
like going through my phone right now to find out what's happening with it. I don't know if I've just got a mad delay on it and I just missed everything, but
I know this, but the reading thing actually brings you chat.
oh, sick! I can have live chat. Look at that, guys. Winning. I have access to things.
I have to look over.
Yeah, I think I'm still halfway through this conversation. I'm not going to answer that question. Maybe Blake can look back through.
I don't think it was a question. I think
not a question, a comment.
Yeah, I think what he's brought up is it says that I was thinking of like Van Helsing or Underworld, where they attacked from a vehicle. Players jumping back and forth on vehicles are easy, but what about actual vehicle combat, like death race scenarios?
Holy shit, we've already been taken off topic.
No, there was no topic.
Well, that is the new topic.
That is the new topic. That's right. I like the idea of like vehicle combat. It's essentially just mounted combat. Just, you know, in what you've described, it's more cars than horses or griffins or dragons, whatever. I love the idea of mounted combat. If I will probably try and steer them towards doing it at least once because I'd like to try it out. And I didn't want to have people leveling up characters to a point where I knew they could survive things in testing because I have no idea where I'm even going to try it. You will be excited for Blake's campaign because I know it's something he's been wanting to try for a long time. So hopefully he's going to actually put it into action this time.
I don't think it's the same way he's going to expect it, just because of the idea of it. It's just like if things weren't moving more or less. But I think the way that you could do it was very similar to the last combat I did for the campaign you guys were playing off camera, where I had terrain actually have initiative. And the terrain moved, which meant that, for instance, for the cart combat, when the cart would have its turn, it would move, and that would cause the corresponding players to actually change up on the fly of what they're going to do, because they weren't expecting on how it was going to move.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even with that, like, making that into a vehicle, someone's got to drive the vehicle, right? So you've got a driver, you have everyone else. And I know it says, you said wagons outfitted with their own weapons, but we're playing D&D. This is a fantasy game. The characters are the weapons. Let's be honest, like, you know, you've got a wizard sitting on the back of a cart, that is your flamethrower. You don't need to have a flamethrower mounted. It is just combat on moving vehicles where you need to pinpoint where you're attacking, and if you're far enough away, you may even need to roll a check to see if you're aiming in the right spot, depending on how far away they are, how much time they have to maybe take evasive maneuvers.
Like one of those video games with the airplanes, you just gotta aim.
And you gotta aim a little bit in front of them? Yeah. So, it's, I feel like vehicle combat can very much be done very, very similarly to normal combat. It's just quite a bit more dynamic. One of the players, unless you've got like a hireling driving the cart, someone's got to drive. That means they're going to be making their own checks to see if they're, you know, staying on the road or they're not crashing into something, driving into a ditch, whatever. And then they could probably even use like sort of ram tactics. Let's turn into the other car, see if we can push them off.
I was just thinking maybe they could have like choices, like they see the road upcoming and maybe one path will give them more cover or another one will be a bit more dangerous, but it'll get them either ahead, maybe use some other advantageous position. Because they would have the choice of where the platform would move.
I'm Jacob 1.
I'm Jacob 2.
Is that caffeinated cat? I can't actually see that on here.
Yes.
Yeah, the name is in like a dark brown and the background is a dark blue. So it just looks like...
Oh my god, I can't even see it.
I'm Jacob 1.
And I'm not even blind.
I'm not saying no to vehicle combat. I think vehicle combat would be really, really cool. I think it really is just a normal combat with different stakes. It's like putting a machine in the middle of a regular fight combat that's going to detonate after so many rounds. You've got to stop the machine while you're doing your combat. It's the same kind of thing. You're just on a vehicle while you're doing combat between them, and you need to make sure that your vehicle isn't destroyed because it's going to have its own health. There's the tactic for you. You just attack the other guy's vehicle, try and knock the wheel off their wagon, whatever, cause them to crash. But I really think that you would run it very, very similarly to normal combat.
Multitasking, but a lot more stressful.
Any thoughts you have on that? Am I wrong?
No, you are right. I love the idea of being able to control the battlefield as an action.
Yeah.
Like, literally control the battlefield. Like, where you would be positioned as a group rather than just yourself. Because it could change everything, and then you as the DM could also do the exact same thing. Have similar or the same choices, and then depending on what they pick, they get positioned differently. Yeah, of course. No,
my am I wrong wasn't me wanting you to confirm my thing. No. Like, can you see it working any different? It might just be my own way that I sort of think about the game, which is, you know, I read these books for fun because I'm bored on days off, and you know, combat has a certain sort of a flow to it. I feel like adding a vehicle to the combat, like just in my own head, I can't see it working any other way other than it being essentially normal combat, just with someone designated to be doing something, and anything your enemies are doing to sort of throw that off can give certain debuffs, if you will, to that side. Like, I don't know, maybe they hit your cart, they loosen one of the wheels, and so you have disadvantage on your attacks as your cart's bumping as the wheels sort of starting to dislodge itself, unless you can force it back on or something. Like it sounds very much to me like
It sounds very technical, and it sounds like it could just straight up be in the game.
yeah, but it sounds like normal combat to me.
Yeah,
It's normal combat with extra steps.
exactly.
I don't know. Do you have any ideas on how you could change it blue? Considering you were the one that brought it up and was saying that I'm saying no to vehicle combat. I think it is vehicle combat. Maybe a Power Rangers campaign players control the Zords. Oh, dude, I am so down for that. You would just have statistics for the thing you're fighting with, though, right?
I'm not just, I don't know.
Do you have power? No. What kind of... Have you ever watched Evangelion? Yeah, same thing. The Avas are the Zords.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just people inside the big person robot, except a lot of the time in Power Rangers, it's an animal or something. And there's this mech battle. But you just have, this is your health for your mech, this is your weapons on your mech, which is your spells or your attacks or your abilities, whatever you're doing. And then go, fight the other mech. Like, it's just combat. But yeah, no, I think it would be really, really cool. I would be so down for doing that. Probably not in this campaign. Maybe in like a follow-up campaign if you manage to reverse the damage done to the world. And you know, because the world that I've built is very high tech. Not in so far as you have cars, and it is all remnants of a bygone age, but it would be very easy for industry size innovation to start making mech suits. So maybe if you just manage to reverse the damage done, yeah, you can have mech battles. I'd be willing to do it.
That certainly sounds like a goal that I'd like.
Mm-hmm. Fuck yeah. It's not so much that it already is in-game mechanics. The way I would think about it is figure out what you want specifically by the vehicle to be able to do. So, up top here, you mentioned mounting weapons to the weapons outfitted with their own wagons outfitted with their own weapons. So you can have that makes me think of ship-to-ship combat, where you can have cannons on the ship, but someone still has to man them, right? So you go from using your sword or your crossbow or whatever it is that you're using to using a cannon. It's got its own to hit. It's got its own operation mechanics if you want, and it's got its own damage dice. You're shooting cannons. You're no longer shooting arrows. So it would work in the same way. I don't think there's any specific statistics for how much, some kind of railgun attachment to your Megazord is going to do. So you just need to effectively make a new character that's sort of really off book. What do you want it to do? Oh, I want it to have a rail cannon that's on, it can only use X number of times. Maybe you go into like the monster manual and you look into recharge attacks. So like a dragon's breath weapon. It's got this big flashy attack. The red dragon deals average 90 something damage or whatever it is with its breath weapon, which is leagues further than anything in its CR would do, but it's on a recharge of 5 to 6. So every single round, it's either at the start or the end of its turn, you roll a d6. if you roll a 5 or a 6, it has recharge and it can use it again. So I like recharge for like those big fancy sort of attacks, but you know, it might just be like Power Rangers with the Megazord that has the big sword that it uses to fight everything. It's just a great sword, but because we've made the Megazord not have 106 hit points, we've made it have 3,000. You're rolling, you know, 3d12. Probably actually not even. Yeah, like 3d12 times 5 or something. Like you just make your damage capabilities scale to that sort of a
level?
I didn't want to use the word level, but it is that. You scale it to the fact that you're in a giant mech. You know, like, if I'm going to take this mech sword and I'm going to hit the goblin down there, it's going to die. It's going to die because you're not dealing 2d6 plus strength. You're dealing...
goblin. Very big mech suit.
Yeah, but it's going to kill it because you're not dealing 2d6 plus strength, you know?
Yeah.
You're going to kill the ogre too.
You kill most things.
Yeah, and the point of them is to fight each other. Vehicle proficiencies are a thing in the game.
Carts, boats, airships.
There are tanks in hell. I love it.
Oh yeah. What was it? Something into Avernus travel? Descent into Avernus. That's it.
Descent into Avernus. Are there tanks in there?
I've heard there's actual vehicles in there.
Oh, that's crazy. I love it. Oh, break was sick. I'm
refreshed.
Very, very ready to start going again. Yeah, red shirt's on theme. I'm green in the background here. I'm all ready for Christmas. I
like purple.
It's my partner's favorite time of year, so I thought I'd do this.
He's even got red shoes on.
I do have red shoes on. I'm not picking my feet up.
He will kick the table.
But back to this. Vehicle proficiencies are a thing in a player's handbook. I've actually got one here.
Ooh, prepared.
Yeah, it's not so much for for combat. I'm pretty sure it's for being able to get around. But you can buy vehicles. You can buy boats, you can buy wagons, you can buy all that kind of stuff, and you can have proficiency in being able to use them. Oh, that is totally fine. If you pass out, I would not blame you. I am also kind of ready to do the same thing.
Me even more.
Hold on, so go. I'm looking up vehicles.
Well, what am I gonna do?
I don't know. Talk to people.
Well, hang on, let me take a look at the chat. Somebody give me a topic that I can discuss. My tired ass brain, and I can barely read it.
Who rolls on the Megazord? Always the Red Ranger or the Ranger controlling the limb? So that depends on whether or not you want to have multiple people controlling the Zord, or if you want to make it a So there was some, I don't even remember where I heard this, but there's a thing about doing shared control. So because you're all giving inputs, when it's your turn, you're just controlling the mech.
Is it like one person gets the action, one person gets bonus, one person...
No, like everyone has their own turns, but it controls the whole mech.
Oh.
Yeah. So like if you're doing like a 5-on-5, but it's just 2 mechs, you go, and then they'll go, and it's like 1-to-1 initiative, so it's not one person just like, okay, I want to do this, and then when I finished it, I want to do that, and when I finish it, I want to do this, so I can do my own sort of combo. In order to do that, you got to work with the people that are in the mech with you. Otherwise, you're deciding to walk up and slash with the big sword, and then I'm like, oh, but I wanted to use the cool railgun feature, so I'm going to take a step back so that, you know, I can aim it properly and fire that. And then we get to the third person in the mech, and they're like, "You're both stupid. I wanted to do this," and because you're not sort of working together, you're not getting the best results out of it.
It's like Pacific Rim, but instead of there being
Yeah.
2, there is 5.
Yeah, there you go. Pacific Rim. That's what it is.
Yeah. Gotta be completely in sync, or it just won't work.
Okay, so we have mounted combat here.
I was timing.
I already found it, but I wasn't sure if this was the part that I was looking for. So this is for like creature combat. So there's actual like rules for it, which is you can control mount only if it's been trained to accept the rider. So obviously with a mech, as long as you yourself are trained in how to operate the mech, like it same kind of thing, and you could give a proficiency to that.
So
to
do
make
an
sure
animal
that
handling
people
check.
know. When you are mounted, the initiative of your mount becomes the same as your initiative. So that just makes them both a synergistic unit as is. It can only take the dash, disengage, and dodge action, so you don't just get 2 turns. Like mounted combat is very very useful for it.
Especially when you dash, because you can get away really damn
But
fast.
in just going on mounted combat and the underwater combat sections, you can translate that into, okay, maybe we're not fighting on horseback, we're actually fighting on a cart. So the cart itself has the same sort of initiative count as a player because they're controlling it. And so they're making the decisions for what the cart does while combat's happening. So yeah, it might be the wizard that's driving it. And they're making the checks to actually do it, but they can still sling a firebolt or something. I guess you just say that you can't concentrate on a spell because you're already concentrating on driving.
You would
That's
have
your concentration.
limitations, like maybe you only can do one-handed attacks, maybe like hand crossbows or
Yeah,
some spells.
yeah, and that just gives the driver something specific to be doing as well. I don't know, I like it. I think the idea of mounted combat is a very fun one.
You have something to look forward to in the campaign on Friday.
It won't be on Friday. I can guarantee you that.
Oh.
It won't be mounted. I'm gonna ease you into that.
Fingers crossed.
Yell at me enough, and I might end up doing it. Oh god, we've got Godzilla geese and
Godzilla geese.
Mega Mother Goose as BBEG. If you play Magic the Gathering, there's a card for it now. The Goose Hydra. So it's already on my mind. Godzilla Goose, Kaiju Geese.
That doesn't bode well. Stop giving him ideas. I want to at least get to level 3 in this campaign before he starts throwing the fucking Hydra geese at me.
So important question is it Hydra Goose or Hydra Geese? Hydra Geese would be multiple Hydras with the geese heads. One Hydra with multiple heads is still just a Hydra Goose.
Goose. I'm sorry. I forgot the terminology for geese and goose.
If I'm wrong, sue me.
I'm too tired to.
Very good.
I will simply
Here we go.
defeat.
Mountain vehicles, vehicle proficiency. If you have proficiency with a certain kind of vehicle, land or water, you can add your proficiency bonus to any check you make to control that kind of vehicle. So you can give your players mech sword proficiencies, and they'll be able to do it easier. I think that's fun.
Gotta put some points in that. How? I read it in a book.
No, there's rules in this book for gaining proficiencies that you don't already have. So
I was just saying that I already began with it because I'm a special character.
that's up to you if the geese heads act independently with their own personalities. They might do so, but it's still one creature. So that's why I would call it a Hydra Goose, even though there's multiple heads and they're all fighting each other and wanting to do their own separate things. But,
Oh my god, it's the
so
same.
it's the
It's the same
count the
debacle.
bodies. Yeah, not the heads.
It's the same debacle with the Megazord. They have to all unanimously agree on doing something, otherwise nothing happens.
I love that. That's awesome.
Have two tables fight each other. One plays the Megazord, one plays the Hydra Goose.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. I'd say count the bodies, not count the heads, because otherwise, Ettins are also two different creatures.
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah.
I remember facing one of them.
They got two heads.
And I do.
I love the idea of a goose hydra though. I think that's really fun. Now that Blake's back next to us, I want to let him know that we're still getting messages for Aries streaming on Twitch and Stacey
if you turn your
streaming on
head,
Twitch.
if you turn your head, you literally see I'm in the middle of changing.
Guy, he's already changing it.
Don't take them out because they're on.
No, they're on there. I'm right.
Well, what?
Just because he's changing it now doesn't mean anything. Yeah, now I'm just thinking about goose hydras. I'm not making you fight one now. It'll be a big thing that you find later.
That
But
would
you know
awesome.
what? It's probably gonna happen.
I want to make
I have so many ideas. So many ideas for creatures for you to fight. You could be like, what the f is that? Like, I'm ready for it.
We've already seen a taste of what he does and like what he has in his mind, and it is terrifying.
Are you talking about sheep tar?
Talking
Yeah.
about sheep tongue.
Yeah.
See, it's not what it is. It's not.
Oh, no.
It's something more horrifying.
Anyone who doesn't know what sheep tar is needs to go and watch Sword Art Online Abridged. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's an awesome show. I love it. Yeah, I'm having lots of fun with adjusting monsters that are already in the books to make them slightly different and slightly more terrifying. I think it's working.
I sound reluctant, but I'm actually really on board with it. Like, all of the creatures we have faced with him have, like, shown really uncommon aspects of the D&D system. And it's been really wild fighting them. Like, cool, really cool, but man, I never knew that the horrors of my imagination were so terrifying.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.
Oh,
And
no.
also, damn you.
Hydra moose, multiple bodies, multiple segments like a millipede, but one head.
Oh, that's awful.
No.
Oh, I hate that. Also,
Okay, this is going too far. One head with multiple bodies. How are you making that work? Oh, that'd
What?
be horrible.
it's just one really long moose,
Yes.
which still is horrible. No.
Hey, Nightbot knows a fact about me.
I can read.
Hey, Nightbot knows a fact about me. I appreciate that, Blake.
That's gonna be fun.
That's fun. No, I hate the Hydra moose. Why would you do this to me?
What would this Hydra be? Just a creature with one head? Well, no heads.
That's just a normal creature.
Ah. The sun.
Even no heads is more normal than multiple bodies. Creature with no head.
Hmm.
There are creatures in these books that are just.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure we could make it work.
Put the idea on
Some kind of a zombie rat.
You didn't catch my... You can put the idea on its head.
Oh, I hate you.
Yeah.
Never change.
Thank you. I don't want to do them often. Dude, they're just as terrible as they are every time.
Good. Good. No, I'm. God, you got me thinking about Hydra geese. Multiples of them. Oh,
Oh, they-
doing to me blue.
Do geese? Geese are like they travel fast.
What would their attacks be? Like, not just pecking. What would their special attacks be?
No, they're.
Oh my
like,
god, would it be like a beholder?
No.
Would it shoot feathers?
No. It has a recharge attack. Hear me out. All of the heads just simultaneously honk at you.
Oh, dear, go on.
It's a thunder-based attack that, you know what? It doesn't even deal any damage. It just stuns you.
That's so terrifying.
I know! It's a whole action. It can't do it as a legendary action because you know this thing's going to have legendary actions.
Oh. I didn't.
But it just, as a whole action, it just honks at you and it stuns you. So everyone has to just stand there.
Absolutely.
And I guess if you're in range of it already, then it can use a legendary action to like attack you a little bit sparingly throughout.
Depends on how merciful he's
I
feeling.
like this. I like it. The honk.
Oh.
It's on a recharge of 6.
He's already developing all the aspects about it.
Oh, this is happening.
It is inevitable.
This is so happening.
It will happen.
Oh. Well, okay, so like the Cloverfield monster, smaller parts of the monster fall off to make small monsters. But moose. Meese.
Oh,
I hate the end of that.
I hate me.
No, I hate the end of that, but I did do that. Sheepcar did that.
Yeah, it actually did. They were fun.
Okay, so a little bit of backstory on what the hell Sheepcar is. It's just a stupid boss that you never actually see in the show. But one of the lines is that it spits acid. Instead of having it spit acid, I had it like dissolve acidically and just drop smaller versions of itself as minions for them to also fight. So it was pretty fun. It's similar to the Cloverfield monster, I guess. I've never actually watched Cloverfield. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Hashtag exclamation mark Hydra. No, I blocked honk. Oh my god! I love it.
It's gonna be great.
Oh, let's fucking go.
We need to set up a system where people like can donate or do anything like that, like the
Hey
big
Jacob,
streamers.
put this in the
You
fucking game.
Yeah, and then a sound effect would just go off your computer, and it's a honk.
Oh, you know, that's 100% a thing you can do already. That's not something that...
I'm aware that it is. I'm saying we should do it.
I'm sure.
And it should be done during the main campaign too. So every now and then when we're in a serious roleplay mode, we just hear a honk.
Keep going with that thought. I'm going to go and find the Hydra.
Oh my
I'm
god.
pretty sure... Yeah, just move forward a little bit. Pretty sure it's just into PHP.
So, who knows? Maybe there's potential for later on. You can either interrupt or add to another roleplay moment with your own honks.
Probably not.
We'll
That's
go back.
crazy.
But it would be funny. Maybe for an April Fool's special. Get the crowd involved.
Oh, yeah.
Have them like if they,
It's a lot.
oh, it will be, but it'll be great.
Look at that.
Oh wow! What cool creatures that I'm so excited to fight. Oh, that one looks lovely.
Oh, fun fact. You know, there's more than one kind of a Hydra.
No,
Like, and I'm not talking about false Hydras. I'm talking about, like, actual Hydras.
they're not real hydras. They're lions.
There's 2 main types of Hydras. There's the ones that start with 1 head and they grow more heads as you cut them off. And there's the ones with multiple heads that don't grow them back when you cut them off.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
2 different Hydras. Okay, so this is starting at challenge rating 8. So you aren't fighting this for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can calm down. It's all good.
Prayers have been answered.
Things in ooze stretches out and shapeshifts into people. They're assimilated.
That's false hydra.
Yeah, no, we're not doing more Hydras. Like it's Goose Hydra. That's the one.
Yeah, that's all.
If I-
All hydras turned into goose hydras.
Oh no. The Goose Hydra is what happens when a Hydra fights a goose. Just like a regular old goose.
Goose.
Yeah.
They were fine. They
Yeah,
were
assimilate
completely
the hydra
unaffected by the
stuff.
apocalypse. Like
100%.
They just kind of chill.
Have you ever encountered a goose before?
Yeah, oh no.
They're terrifying.
Oh wait, no, I have. And yes, they're huge.
Yeah, so we're starting to challenge rating A. So you're not fighting this thing anytime soon. Don't worry about it. It's not...
Maybe you can tease us with seeing it off in the distance, maybe flying up above.
Another idea.
Oh,
I'm not telling you that one.
Oh, that means he might actually do it.
No. But also maybe different.
He'll do it.
Oh.
I don't know what he's cooking in that head, but
What's this ooze that you're talking about? Is this like a real thing?
Yeah.
Have you heard anything? I think there's an ooze that stretches out and shapeshifts into people they have assimilated.
It's in this book.
the other one that I've heard that have similar abilities like that is the Force Hydra.
Go to the Ublex.
Oh.
Is it just the Ublex?
Oh.
There's multiple different ones.
No, never mind. I know now.
It's Jubilex.
No, go to O. You're in Demons.
It is Dick.
Yeah,
You're
I
in
remember
Devils.
they're like red and shit.
You're in Devils.
Hey, look, it's the classic thing in the adventure
yeah.
that was notoriously terrible. It's not the DM. DM loves it. Oh crap! I forgot their name.
Ublex.
Ublex.
The Ublex devours memories not only to sustain its existence, but also to spawn new Ublexes.
Ublex.
I feel like that should be one of those weird ones. But Ublexes, it's written down. Each time it fully drains the memories of a victim, it gains the creature's personality. Now twisted by the Ublex's found nature, the more memories an Ublex steals, the larger it becomes. They'll must shed a personality and is absorbed, or else go insane.
Well, that one's personalities and memories. What he was talking about was, oh great, you're revealing to him new creatures to throw at us, or new creatures that he can make.
Is there a thing where they like shape shit? Oh, an old Ublex. Yeah, look at that thing coming out.
And I'm on the right.
Eats memories, older Ublex.
These are the ones.
Sulfurous impersonation. As a bonus action, the Ublex can extrude a piece of itself that assumes the appearance of one medium or smaller creature whose memories it has stolen. This simulacrum appears, feels, and sounds exactly like the creature it impersonates, though it smells faintly of sulfur. The Ublex can impersonate 1d4 plus 1 different creatures, each one tethered to its body by a strand of slime that can extend up to 120 feet away. For all practical purposes, the simulacrum is the Ublex, meaning that the Ublex occupies its space and the simulacrum space simultaneously. The slimy tether is immune to damage, but if severed if there is no opening at least 1 inch wide between them, and the simulacrum disappears if it's severed. That's sick. Those things are dope.
Thanks.
That's alright. The adult Ublex is only challenge rating 5.
Oh, cool. So I have the chance of finding it sooner.
Sooner than the Hydra, at least.
Oh,
And baby Ublex is only 1 quarter.
Bobby.
That's cool. No, I like the Ublex. Usadra. God damn it. What are we doing?
You.
Is an actual monster in the book of things, not called Usadra, but I remember reading it. Like an Ooze Hydra kind of thing. It seems to really go against what a Hydra does, though, right?
Yeah. Well, other than having multiple heads, what are the Hydra's other gimmicks?
Not a lot. It just has lots of heads. The one in the book is the one that grows new heads. It's called a Linnern Hydra or something.
Ooh.
It's a Greek thing.
Yeah.
But,
I know because I watched Hercules.
Yes. But this right here, multiple heads is the thing. So whenever they take 25 or more damage, in a turn, one of the heads dies, and then at the end of the turn, it grows 2 heads for each of its heads that died its last turn. But its method of reproducing heads. The really, really scary thing about these, which I'm sure you're gonna look these up later anyway. For each head the Hydra has beyond 1, it gets an extra reaction that can only be used for opportunity attacks.
Oh, so you're not escaping it.
Nope, and also, the Hydra makes as many bite attacks as it has heads.
Oh.
So, you can 100% go up against one with 1 head, and if you don't do enough damage to kill the creature outright, it'll now have 2 heads. It went from 1 attack and 1 reaction to 2 attacks and 2 reactions.
It doesn't.
And so on and so forth. Yeah, it does.
Oh.
So, the Hydra regains 10 hit points for each head it has regrown in this way.
Oh. Go big, go fast. Hold down.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's 172 hit points. So, I'm not doing the math on that right now, but it can get a lot of heads if you start this exact stat block out as a 1-headed Hydra. You can get a lot of heads. And if you don't kill it, and it goes and it rests and it gets back to full health, then you start the whole thing again with lots of heads already. Because it doesn't lose them later. Like in Hercules. So, yeah, if you want one of these things to be like a real late game boss, you can probably recreate that thing, Hercules, where they just keep fighting it and it just keeps regrowing heads.
Maybe if you stab the body.
Yeah. See, I think this is still caffeinated cat. Shit, yeah, I love the Leonine Hydra.
No, that's Plunder
This
Plays.
is Plunder Plays? Yeah. You're also really, really dark on here and I can't see anything. Yeah.
He will not switch to light mode.
No. I don't know how to do that.
I don't think you can.
Yeah.
Really?
I think that's just the default thing because it's following the same as the actual
Oh.
OBS.
Dead Space Splitter, the limbs break off and attack independently.
Oh.
Yeah, it's sort of similar, but I think it's safer that you keep it as one creature that occupies one space.
That is a cool concept, though.
It is kind of cool.
A creature that will crumble into smaller ones.
No, but you can do that as like a zombie that when it takes enough damage, it starts falling apart and turns into like crawling hands, crawling claws. What are they called?
Whatever they call it. The hands. The
Blake, you used one.
What?
The crawling hand thing.
Oh, yeah, Crawler.
That's all.
There you go. That one. Yeah, you can 100% do that.
It's a bit disappointing.
It's not a unheard of kind of a creature. So yeah, just take like a big ass zombie, and then when it loses enough hit points, have its hand fall off, and the hand starts crawling around its own monster, and then it takes a little bit more damage and it loses a leg, and the leg's just kind of like
It just sprouts
hopping around.
It's
I was also
Spider
thinking
leg
like
thing.
spider leg hey.
like from the thing.
Yeah, and then it just like swings the foot and kicks you.
That was the funnier thought. Having a leg, a disembodied leg, just go.
I love
That
it.
is hilarious.
Yeah, that's a sig monster. I don't know that it fits what I'm doing currently, but I'm sure I can make it work.
Again, the April Fool's one shot. Just all these wacky concepts.
I think that
together.
may have to be a thing.
Well, maybe a short little 4-session April campaign.
Oh no, just straight up just one session for April Fools, wherever it like sort of fits on the schedule. Which is like
But you don't know, maybe you come up
like
with
the Friday of kind of thing.
I
Like or the Wednesday of or something, and just be like, alright guys, we're gonna put the campaign on hold just for today. We're doing a short one shot. And I'll run all this shit.
there is a Wednesday and a Friday, so if you and Blake come together, you can figure out those wacky ideas, and then you pick and choose.
Yeah. I mean, it might not happen this time, but I can see us doing it. I can see me doing it.
Potential, so there's hope.
Yeah. I'm assuming this is Blind Plays again. Thematically, does the Hydra die if you cut its head with Flame Tongue, as you're also cauterizing the wound as you go off the head, so 2 can't go in its place?
Like, I'm looking, but I can't read anything.
It doesn't say anything in the stat block. That would be entirely, and how you want it to work thematically, because as you've said, it would be very thematic if you could cauterize the wound. I think it just also makes it a lot more terrifying if there's no way to stop it regrowing their heads. You just have to, like, not attack the thing until you can make sure you're dealing enough damage that you're actually still putting a dent in it after the regen. Because if you do minimum, which is like minimum for a lost head and a regeneration, it's 25 damage. So if you do 25 damage and then it comes to its turn and it regrows 2 heads and regains 20 hit points, you've still dealt 5 damage to it. It doesn't then gain the 10 hit points on a later turn. It's just a one-time thing.
Theoretically.
But if you can be dealing 50 damage and lose a head, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 25 or more damage in a single turn. So if you are able to deal 50 damage, it'll lose 1 head, it'll grow 2 more, but it'll only gain 20 hit points. So you've dealt effectively 30 damage.
Yeah.
The other way you can go about it is to try and do little increments of damage. So if you only deal 24 damage, it won't lose a head.
You can always
regrow any.
Yeah,
and then on the next turn, you deal 22 damage. So that's just sort of another way that you can kill it rather than trying to go all out and dealing just enough for the head to be severed, which is
you have to be very careful what you do, though.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the
trade-off.
Well, that's the danger in it.
Mm.
Like, if you do just too much and you're trying to go for, like, low damage.
Just panic heal it.
Yeah.
Like, no, don't lose the head.
It is how Hercules beat it. According to some stories, I don't think it's according to all of them. I know in the Disney movie he crushes it with rocks. Like, he doesn't even stop from regrowing. I'm pretty sure some stories does have him cauterizing the wound, but it's mythology. There's lots of stories about it. 100%. Allow fire damage to not allow it to regrow heads from the damage dealt by it, because it's turn-based, not round-based.
What did it count for the first head, though?
Well, because it's turn-based, not round-based. Oh, like, yeah, if you're gonna do it and you find a one-headed Hydra and you know to cauterize the wound, so deal fire damage to actually attack it, fair enough. Like, they've circumvented the encounter,
yeah,
and they deserve that. If you find a way to circumvent an encounter, I'm never gonna be mad at you. Like, you did your due diligence, you did your research, and you figured out how to fight the thing effectively. Like,
yeah. Remember, reward your players for being creative.
Of course. I would never want to say, oh no, it doesn't work that way because I've got an encounter planned. Like, if I then want you to actually fight a Hydra, the next time you find one, which, you know, might be 6 months later,
yeah,
you'll encounter one that's got 6 heads.
The encounter will at least be balanced and fair.
That's right. You will at least have a fight with one that has multiple heads, even if everyone at that point has a fire weapon that they can use for it. Everyone's got to deal enough damage to cut a head off in a turn for it to lose a head, not be able to regain any heads or hit points, and for it to sort of like get diminishingly difficult because as it loses head, it loses attacks.
Out of curiosity, what if just like firebolt or fireball? Would they count? Because they're not like they're not technically
Stat
slicing the
block
head.
wise, yes.
Right. Because
So
it's just it's just 25 damage. You can theoretically do 25
it
damage.
just says whenever it takes 25 or more damage in a turn, one of the heads dies. It doesn't say is cut off. Like
Yeah.
so,
It's just like what we could compare
use
it to.
fireball and it like disintegrates one of the
Yeah.
heads and leaves a bit of a stump, which they then grow for. But yeah, if you want, I would 100% allow it. Like fire damage is fire damage. If you're doing that whole thing, whatever kind of fire damage you do, it's not going to be able to recover from. Like how troll healing works. You hit it with fire, it can't regenerate on its turn. Like
Yeah.
there. And then it's just how thematic with it do you want to be? Is it because it loses a head on a turn when enough damage is dealt? You could theoretically go through one round of combat with 5 players and have each of them cut off a head on their turn. And it would lose 5 heads in the one round.
Then it would only. How many heads would it get back on Beckon's turn? Just like one, just 2 more heads, or like 2 more heads per
So
head?
at the end of its turn, it grows 2 heads for each of its heads that died since its last turn. It also says if all the heads dies, the Hydra dies, but I'd like to think you can start with a 1-headed Hydra. I think that's one of the coolest parts of that story is that it was a 1-headed Hydra.
And then just get.
And when he sliced the head off, it grew its 2nd head, and that's like the initial thing where you're like, okay, shit, hold on.
Hey, hold up.
This creature's different. Like that's the learning moment.
This
when you don't know.
This is a funny looking crocodile. Why
Yeah.
grow 2 heads?
Yeah. Yes, I do remember the story now. So he needed his nephew's help to defeat the Hydra by using a torch to cauterize the wound as he'd cut the heads off. My players found a cave that constantly had bats in it. They started killing off the bats and selling bat meat. Then they caught the bats and sold the bat blood, then the meat. Now let's talk about milking bats in the next session, so I let them meet bat dry. Just put some giant bats in the cave. You know,
Mama Bat angry.
yeah, they're going after the little bats, and now there's giant bats in the cave. There's stat blocks for giant bats. They're not ridiculously powerful, but if they don't take the hint or when you throw a giant bat at them, of like, you know, come on guys, cut this shit out, make an even bigger bat or make a stronger bat. Like there you go, a giant bat is challenge rating one quarter. It's not massive, but you.
Apparently, it was a question for me.
Wow. Question for Blake, will you be looking at multi-streaming the campaigns and TDP to both YouTube and Twitch?
So originally with the multi-streaming, I kind of thought about doing a exclusives. So for instance, putting one game on Twitch and one game on YouTube exclusively.
I think I remember you
But
mentioned that.
when you do that, realistically, it also just divides the watching
The viewer
base.
base.
Yeah. So, and I'd much rather be more consistent. So what we're going to do is for anything live, pretty much except for TikTok live, because that's just something that Rob wanted to do, which makes a lot of sense doing it anyway. Which, by the way, when we do sort out a TikTok live and stuff, that's where you actually get to ask live questions about setup and stuff. Because that's where Rob's going to do it, is pretty much before games go live to look at things and ask questions about how this and how do you prepare and all this other stuff. And you get to ask players things too, because there'll be everyone there.
You get to see behind the scenes.
Thank you. All right. Anyway, about going live for all of it, it's really hard because where the studio is, the internet's not in here anymore. It's been moved into the house because my partner studies now, so she kind of needs the internet in the house to be as strong as it can be. But for now, the way we look at it is that Twitch will be where we're live and YouTube is where the VODs will be saved, and also where the actual content will be uploaded. So that's just so you know.
Yeah, we have tried multi-streaming before, and it just didn't. Like same thing with it divides viewer bases up. Like if you just go live in the one spot, especially considering we're not, massive. We're not. I dare to say we're not even big. Like,
No,
it's too much to try and put out and to try and stay consistent with. Who knows? Maybe we get to a point where we can, but at that point we would also have the internet to handle it. But where we're at right now, it's just, if we just stick to one, it makes everything easier and easier on everyone, because everyone knows where to find it rather than being exclusive to one or the other. You got to remember which one's on which. You got to go to the right spot. You got to potentially learn a new streaming service to figure out how to navigate through it and find the episode you're wanting to go back and watch, or it's a whole thing.
Well, another thing I wanted to point out too, which I told Jordan and Kat this the other day, we are 600 views away from hitting 10,000 views in 28 days on our YouTube channel.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, sick. That's mad. I knew we had a lot comparatively from when we were doing this the first time.
Well,
like, obviously, it's been a lot of research and a lot of trial and error and figuring out
yeah, well, that's
upload schedules and all the rest of it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. With the time off we had, I'm doing it like anecdotal. I think that's how you say it.
Anecdotal.
Yeah, anecdotal evidence to find certain things and what's the best way we can release content to people and stuff. And that's why out of our whole entire channel views, which has been 15,880, 10,000 of that has been within the last 28 days. Yeah. So that means that we have
2/3 of our total views have been in the last month.
Yeah, which means we have almost pretty much doubled.
Exponential growth.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the steam we need.
Yeah, of course.
But we'll never forget the people that have always shown up.
That's right. We're looking at you, Blue. All right, so going back to giant bats. Yes, it's more meat for more monies for bat meat. But if that's where they go, let them have it for a little bit. Don't take it away from them. And then change the bat again. Maybe they're now fire bats.
Just so you know, also, last time we went
They
live...
explode when you kill them.
Last time we went live on the podcast was the 5th of December.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
It's literally almost been a year.
Holy crap.
But the difference is with this year break we had, we didn't stop playing D&D. And
True.
This.
Very true. Wow. All right. Yeah, that's my suggestion. Make them fire bats, and they explode when they're killed. And they're stronger. They deal more damage. Because if you're seeing this whole bat thing as being a problem, that's a more fun way for them to do it, and they can try and see if they can keep doing it and see if they can keep doing it and how far they can get.
Yeah. And if they question where all these bats come from, there's a bat wizard down in the tunnel. So.
Well, that was going to be my next thing. Well, guess what? You've hunted the bats to extinction. Like, it's logical. If they just keep fighting them and they just keep farming them, eventually there's not going to be any left. So, No more bats. You kill them all.
They got their money. They got their fun.
That's right.
It wasn't going to be forever.
There's a couple different ways for it. I feel like the more fun way for them would be to keep escalating these bats and just see how far they want to go. Obviously not immediately every time. Let them have a little bit of time to like having fun. Like, haha, yeah, no, these giant bats still aren't a problem.
Maybe they have to keep going deeper and deeper into the cave to get more bats, and as they go deeper, it's more difficult.
Well, the way I was thinking about it was these bats up in like the cave mouth are dying, so they're coming up. They're like, what the fuck is going on with the population?
You have to disturb the
and
sacred
more
bat
angry
balance.
bats are coming up, then that's when you're finding the giant bats. And then when they're disappearing, it's the fire bats. And then after that, it's the illithid bats. And then after, like, you know, like, we can go crazy.
Turns out you actually just placed yourself in the midst of a bat war, and you are tipping the scales.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
no,
the strongest is coming up there.
It's a very slapstick way of doing it, but I like it, and I think people would have a lot of fun with it.
The funnest way is usually the best way.
Yeah. Oh, look, this bat has psychic powers, and it can cast spells.
Cybat.
Like it's what's the psionics? Yeah, it's the psionics. Like, you know, you can make these things as powerful as you like.
They start to just vicious mockery. You can't understand them
Oh, I love it.
because they're Japanese.
Yes. My bad drop booked me. I would like to see what you say about the psionic ones.
Help me.
Thought it was easy clicking both YouTube and Twitch in OBS when you start a stream. It's not so much that it's difficult to do. It's keeping up with it all, and it's having the bandwidth with which to run it all.
Correct. It's all about your upload speed.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is that this is all self-funded, so
Yeah.
I'm not rich. And the thing is about that is that because we're working off a Wi-Fi, we're not working off a direct input. It actually becomes a lot harder to get a very good connection because the studio's a part of my house, but it's also not connected to my house. It's actually a full separated system.
Yeah.
Stop you looking at that. You do your thing.
And don't forget, we live in Australia, so all the internet is bad anyway.
Correct. So yeah, so pretty much it's just all dependent on a lot of things. But when you separate, another thing too, we stopped using OBS and we went back to Streamlabs just because everything I use, like, I don't use OBS and stuff to control my mics anymore. I use an actual like soundboard pretty much, and all this other stuff. So pretty much I just needed something to add all the stuff together and just do it. And Slobs was the most user-friendly one to do, where it didn't, I didn't have to do research on it.
Interact with everything weirdly.
Correct. All right, but yes, so that's why.
Okay. Well, we've been going for an hour now. I'm probably going to tell you all that I have things to do in the morning, and I have a very big day starting. So I think we're going to end the stream here. I think we're all getting quite tired and wanting to ease ourselves into starting doing this again.
Well, you're both dead tired.
Oh, yeah. So catch us again next week on Friday.
And
It will be
what happens next Friday?
on. I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
He's laying it down.
And if you turn up a little bit earlier, we will be starting to actually stream our games. The streams. Well, the games will be streaming from 9 till 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, and the podcast will go live from 11:30 until we decide to cut it. Or Blake yells at me and tells me to get out of his house.
There's about a half hour, 15-minute interval between.
I don't even know if that would have picked up. There's half hour, 15 minutes, half hour interval between them, just as we pack up the game, set up what little bits we need to do to get this ready.
Easy.
But hey, we got some Doritos in chat. Hell yeah.
Been a while since we've seen Doritos in chat.
Oh, 3 hours until Blue has to wake up for work. Why are you awake? Oh, I appreciate you.
Jesus, you get up at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, that's something.
We appreciate your dedication.
Also, next week on Wednesday, I believe there will be another stream hosted by Jordan. Yeah, I've just gotten confirmation about that. He will be hosting the stream, but the Wednesday group's game stream won't be starting until the Wednesday after.
Friday's still the best. We are first.
Friday has first stream live, and then it will be two streams a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. They will start and finish at the same times. 5 a.m. start.
Oy.
And we're looking forward to starting back up. We're looking forward to interacting with you all again, and let's make this great. I'm excited for it. I think Blake's excited to be playing. I think Jacob just wants to keep playing D&D because we've just been doing test sessions.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So thanks so much for bearing with us in the hiatus that we took. We sorted out what we needed to, and we've taken the time to properly get ready this time, rather than bullying Blake into starting a little bit earlier than he was initially considering.
You'll notice the differences. We've made a lot of improvements since then.
Catch us next week. We'll see you on Wednesday for the podcast, Friday for the first game, and Friday again for the off-topic podcast. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Also, we're rating somebody. I forgot that was a thing. I haven't done Twitch in ages.
You haven't done Twitch in basically a year.
I haven't ever done Twitch. Blake does Twitch. I just
We
talk
just did here
on
talk.
Twitch. Who are we rating, Blake?
We are great.
Somebody named Windy J D&D. They're currently in the middle of playing a game.
There you go. Windy J D&D. They're playing and they're doing a live play.
Let's take a
We'll
look.
see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks.
I do this. Honk.